Hello everyone, welcome back or welcome to the channel. My name is T. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, this is my channel, Crumpus Tea and Sewing, where I share all my sewing makes, pattern reviews, and more. All right, so I'm going to jump right into the video today, and I'm going to be sharing with you my review of the Colette Patterns Hawthorn dress, as well as my review of a fabric that was sponsored to me by Minerva Craft. This fabric is called the Morning Glory fabric. It's a cotton lawn fabric, and I'm going to tell you all about it later on in the video. But first, I'm going to start with my review of the Colette Patterns Hawthorn dress. So this beautiful dress pattern was gifted to me by the lovely Heather at Textile Tailored Thoughts. So that's her handle here on YouTube. She goes by at Textile Tailored Thoughts. I'll put her information in the description box below. She is also on Instagram as well. Please check her out. She is a fabulous person, and I cannot thank her more for gifting me this pattern, because I absolutely love this pattern, and I'm going to tell you why. All right, so let's get into the video first by I'm going to tell you what the features are before I give you my review of the pattern. So this pattern features 3 different variations. Oh, and I also want to say, by the way, if you see me looking down or bobbing in and out, it's because I have my notes here. I don't want to forget anything. I want to give you all the details of this beautiful dress. All right, so first, it has 3 variations. It features 2 variations of a dress that has a semicircle dress. It is a dress that has buttons that go down the center front of the garment. There are different sleeve variations, so you can do a short sleeve, a 3/4 sleeve, and there's also a sleeveless option as well. So for the sleeveless option, you will be using bias binding, and that bias binding is going to go on the inside of the armhole, so to finish off the armhole. It also has a cuff and a placket for version 2. So if you select version 2, that is the 3/4 length sleeve, and it has a cuff and a placket that goes on the bottom of the sleeve. Now, I don't have the actual the image of the pattern, because Heather gifted me a PDF digital copy of it, and I believe so. I looked on the website, and the website it appears as if it's only in digital format. So if you were to purchase this, you would have to go to the Colette Patterns website and purchase the digital copy, and I'll put all that information in the description box below as well, so you can go over and check that out, and also look at some of the things that they have to offer on their website, because they have some amazing patterns. So I'll make sure I include all that. Also, the pattern on the website, the pattern is described as being a 1950s classic dress. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to give you a short history of my search for the perfect pattern for the fabric that was gifted to me by Minerva. So when I received this package in the mail from Minerva, and I was able to see in person the beautiful undertones, like the orange and red and peach and green, all these beautiful autumn undertones, and spring in the piece, I thought this would be a perfect piece for a dress. So this fabric is perfect to make a vintage dress. And so I went searching through my pattern stash for a really nice vintage dress that had either a full or semi-circle type skirt. And I also wanted it to be like a 1950s or 1960s vibe. And so I searched through my pattern stash, and I even selected a pattern and I did a mock-up for that pattern, and it just didn't work out because I have sloping shoulders and a broad back. And as many of you may know, a lot of the vintage patterns are designed, the sizes are very slim and very small, and so I would have had to do a lot of adjustments and a lot of alterations, which I don't mind during certain times. But when you're working on a timeline, it's kind of like you want to go ahead and get the project done. You don't want to kind of linger and be making all these adjustments and alterations and going through all these different mock-ups and going through that whole process. So I did want to do my best to get the garment completed, and so I can do the blog post and send it back to Minerva in a timely manner. And so I didn't want to spend too much time on doing a lot of mock-ups and adjustments and things like that. And then I remembered that my beautiful friend Heather sent me a digital copy of the Hawthorn dress. And so in my mind, I thought that would be a perfect 1950s, 1960s dress. I had no idea that the description stated that this dress was actually designed to have this 1950s look. So when I went and I did a little bit more research on the pattern to see if the pattern would suit my needs, lo and behold, yes, in the description it says that it is a 1950s classic dress, and I love that. It's a classic retro looking dress. So I decided to go ahead and print off the PDF, select my size, do a mock-up, and I'll tell you about the adjustments and things like that I did for it. But let me finish telling you about the features. It features a collar. It has short and long sleeve options, a cuff, and it has a fitted bodice with waist darts in the front. Version 1 has 15 buttons, and they are 1/2 inch buttons. Versions 2 and 3 has 13 buttons. So version 1 is the peplum blouse. And I'm going to go ahead and put pictures here and throughout the video because, like I said, I don't have an actual copy of it. So I will put an image here of what the Hawthorn dress looks like from the Colette Patterns website. And I'll make sure, again, I put all that information in the description box below so you can go over and check those things out. But I'm going to go ahead and put that image up here so you can see what that dress looks like. And I'll show you the different variations that they have on the website. And you can see all of the different details. Now with the peplum blouse, it's just basically a really nice fitted blouse. So as the description says, it has a fitted waist, and then it has a peplum at the bottom. You have the option to put a collar on. You can do a 3/4 sleeve or a short sleeve, or you could do a sleeveless option if you would like as well. You have all those different choices. The other thing that I like also is that when you go to the Colette Patterns website, no, I'm sorry, not on the website. The PDF copy also comes with instructions, and it comes with like a guide. It tells you about, how to lay your pattern pieces out, like all the common things that you would get when you purchase a pattern. But in addition to that, Colette Patterns decided to include different suggestions on what you could do to make the garment different. And so they give suggestions on how you can add belt loops. They give suggestions on how you could, omit certain things or add certain things, or, to create different looks. And so I really, really appreciated that as well. So really nice full instructions, step-by-step instructions. It's very, very detailed, but that's because it is an intermediate pattern. And so there is a lot to go through and to read and to digest. So if you were to purchase this pattern, I would say spend a couple of days, if not a week, reading over the pattern, and letting those ideas flow into your mind as to what you want to do. Because sometimes when we have an inspiration that comes in our mind, how we want our garments to turn out, sometimes that inspiration isn't spilled out on the canvas the way we want. You know what I mean? It's not, sometimes we don't have the benefit of creating what we envision in our minds. But I have found that when I take the time to go over the instructions and, not rush the process, that I get closer to my goal, or closer to the finished garment that I have envisioned for myself. So those are just some tips that I have to, for going into the project, and things to think about for when you go into the project. This pattern comes in sizes. So the size range is from 0 to 18. And so I think that that is a really great size range. You rarely see patterns, especially indie patterns, go all the way down to a size 0. So usually I see maybe a 2, 4, or 6 or something like that. So, yeah, but those sizes are very generous as well. So I selected a size 10. And for a size 10, it's 39 inches, 39 and a half inches for the bust. And these are finished measurements. 31 and a half inches for the waist, and 57 and a half inches for the hips. And so remember, the skirt is a semicircle skirt. And so that's why it has so much room in the hip area, because it's very flowy, very nice, and it has that semicircle shape. So I absolutely love it. My waist measures at a 30 and a half inches now. And so I knew I would need a little bit room for ease. And so that 31 and a half inches is perfect. So that gives me 1 inch room of ease, and it's perfect because it's supposed to be a fitted bodice. And it definitely is that. It's a nice fitted bodice. And that I found that I don't need no more than 1 inch. So for alterations and adjustments, I didn't really make any alterations and adjustments. I made one. And can you guys guess which alteration that was? Can you? I know many of you are probably saying bicep adjustment, Tamika, because that's what you usually have to do. And that's what you usually go on and on and on and on and on about. But guess what? Not this time. I did not have to do a bicep adjustment. So I was really, really happy and excited about that. And I'm definitely going to make this pattern again. So remember, this is a 1950s retro pattern. So it is designed to look like a 1950s classic pattern. However, it has the touch of a modern sizing, and I really like that. And not only is it size based on the modern standard of women, but it also has the benefit of having, that extra room in the bicep area for those of us who are a little bit bigger up top. So I really, really love that about this pattern. The adjustment that I had to make was a waist adjustment. And that's not surprising to me because I'm very, very short. But even though I had to make a waist adjustment, it was only by 1 inch. I just had to bring that waistline up by 1 inch, and that was it. That was it. That was it. The rest of the garment looks amazing, by the way. Look at it. I'm going to, again, pop some pictures here. I absolutely love this pattern. I only had to make one adjustment, and I'm so happy for this pattern. Now, let's get on to talking about the fabric that I chose. So, this fabric, like I said, was gifted to me by Minerva Craft, but I was able to select the fabric. So, this fabric is a cotton lawn, and it is a very lightweight cotton lawn, ideal for like spring, summer, and maybe, fall. It has the fall undertones, but like I said, it's very, very lightweight. So if you live in an area where fall is really cold, you might not want to wear this unless you put something underneath of it. Early fall, yes. Now, where I am in the United States, the fall months are very generous to us, and so it's usually really warm. So it's something that I can wear, and that's one of the reasons why I selected the piece. But also because it's very versatile as well. You can wear it in the, like I said, the spring, the summer, the fall. I wouldn't necessarily wear it in the winter. It doesn't really scream winter vibes to me, but it is a versatile piece because I could wear it more than half the year if I wanted to, especially in the area where I live at. And so that's, again, one of the reasons why I selected that piece as well. This fabric is titled Morning Glory. It is, like I said, a Lady McElroy fabric. It is a cotton lawn, and it is beautiful. It has orange and red and green and peach, all these different undertones in it. Now, from off the website, when I looked at this pattern, the pattern of the fabric, I did not see the birds on the fabric. Okay. All I saw were the floral designs. And then I received the package in the mail, and I thought, whoa, these have birds on them. And so I thought that that was a really nice bonus because I love bird fabrics. And I just was not expecting that. And so I thought, wow, this is amazing. So not only does it have like these really nice earthy tones, but it also features birds going throughout the fabric as well. And that also just screams to me 1950s, 1960s. So I really love the piece. Because it is a cotton lawn, though, it is a little bit more delicate than your average 100% cotton fabrics. So you do have to take special care with them. They also are more prone to getting wrinkled than other types of cottons, especially cottons that are cotton blends. So with the cotton lawn fabric, I have found, and that's one of the reasons why I'm not wearing it today, or I'm not draping it on my dress form or whatever, because I already took the opportunity to wash and press it after my photo shoot and everything. And so I don't want to I don't want to have to take that out and get it wrinkled and then have to press and do all that over again. So that is nicely tucked away on a hanger in my closet so that, it can be free of wrinkles for as long as possible. But like I said, this is another piece that I made with cotton lawn that will require special care. So cold wash, gentle cycle, or hand wash would be best, as well as doing an air dry in the dryer, or actually air drying it on a hanger would be best. But again, you're going to see a lot of wrinkles, and so you will need to press it. And I know that's a downfall for a lot of people, but I happen to like pressing. It doesn't bother me very much, but I just thought that I should mention that in my review, just in case you are someone who shy away from doing any type of pressing or ironing. Other than that, the piece is really nice. It sews up like a dream. I did use a 70-10 needle. And so those are designed for lighter weight fabrics. And since the cotton lawn is a lightweight fabric, I wanted to use a needle that would not tear or rip or snag the fabric. And so I chose a 70-10, just a regular Schmetz needle. And that's basically what I did with the project. Let's see, I chose version 2, but I did a short sleeve. So I did the short sleeve version without any cuffs or plackets or anything like that, because I don't know, I just don't, I wanted to make the piece more versatile so that I could wear it throughout different seasons. And I felt like if I would have made it at the 3/4 sleeve length, that I would not have been very comfortable wearing that in the summertime. So that's one of the reasons why I chose to do the short sleeve. And then also, to be honest, I just wasn't feeling like doing like a placket and a cuff and all that other stuff. But like I said, this is an intermediate pattern. The instructions are there. They're clear. And I don't think that you would have any issues with doing the project if you have if your skill levels complement this intermediate phase. So it's really good. Another thing that I wanted to mention about the pattern as well is that it has 6 pattern pieces. So you have the bodice front, the bodice back. You have the placket for the front of the bodice. You have the placket or the facing for the skirt. You have the skirt back and the skirt front. So it doesn't have that many pattern pieces. However, it is a little bit more. You do have some details and things like that, and things that you have to work through. And so it is definitely for intermediate sewists, because there are a lot of buttonholes, and there's the possibility that you may have to shorten or lengthen something. And what I have found, sorry, I'm getting a little bit tongue tied. What I have found is when I shortened my garment, I had to readjust and redo the front button placket because I shortened that waistline. And so it brought one of the buttons, it removed one of the buttonholes, and it repositioned the 2 buttonholes that were before and after it. And so I had to do some tweaking and I had to redo basically the entire front placket as well as the skirt facing for that, to make sure that those buttons aligned. And so that's also another reason why I would say it is an intermediate pattern. In terms of suggested fabrics, it calls for things like cotton shirting, poplin, cotton lawn, which I have used, cotton flannel, batiste, like things like that. So it is very, very heavy on the cotton and it's very, like I said, cotton friendly. So very nice pattern. I'm so thankful for Heather for gifting that to me. And I felt like it was a godsend because it was just what I was looking for during that time. And I'm definitely going to make it again. So the question, would I make this pattern again? Heck yes. Yes, 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 yes. And yes, I love this pattern. I absolutely love this pattern. It's the perfect Sunday dress, and that's basically what I call it. I call it my morning glory Sunday dress. It is beautiful and I absolutely love it. I did add 2 belt loops on the side of my garment. So on the left side by the side seam, on the left side, and on the side seam of the right. So there are button loops there. So if I want to put a belt, not button loops, sorry, belt loops there. So if I want to put a belt on to give it like some contrast, or, you know, just accessorize it a little bit, I could do that as well. So, and it was easy. It was easy to do that. It wasn't anything extra to do that. So what else? So yes, I would sew this again. Would I recommend the pattern? Yes, I would recommend this pattern. And I recommend it to, like I said, intermediate sewists and up, only because you're working with a lot of buttons. If you decide to do the 3/4 length sleeve, there's a cuff there, there's a placket there that you're going to be working with, and you also have to put buttons on that placket. I think there's some mitering that's going on there as well. So again, it definitely is a more detailed and more involved pattern. So I would recommend it, but only to intermediate sewists and those individuals who have gained similar skills and more advanced skills. And yeah, I think that pretty much concludes my review of the pattern and also the fabric. If you want to know more about the fabric, head over to Minerva's website. I'll put the information in the description box below. I'll put the link to this fabric in the description box below as well. So you could go over and check out the fabric and look at the fabric and see what the fabric looks like. Right now, I believe that the Colette Patterns Hawthorn dress is on clearance. And so it is, I think it has a markdown price. I'm not for certain. Don't quote me on that, but I do know it is on clearance. And so I'll put that in the description box below as well. So if you're interested, you could go over and buy a copy before they discontinue it. I don't know if they're discontinuing this dress pattern or not. But generally, that's what that means when something goes on clearance. They're moving that inventory out to make room for new inventory. So it is a possibility that this dress will no longer be available, but I'll make sure that I put the information in the description box below so you can go over and check that out. All right, thank you so much for tuning into the channel, for being my rock and my support. I'm going to soon do a video of my 2019 roundup. I'm just a little bit behind, and hopefully you'll see that soon. I'm going to go ahead and stop this video and record my 2019 roundup video of my 2019 makes. And so you'll see the same shirt but in a different video, probably on a different day. So just know that I'm still recording. All right, thank you so much, everyone, and I hope to see you all very soon. And until next time, stay creative, my friends.